Hi there. Today I share more thoughts about 2020, a crazy year full of crisis, chaos, and change. Earlier this week, I started my morning with my usual browse through social media, and one of my friends had shared a Facebook post that I found really disturbing. The poster had ranted about being sick and tired of a bunch of things: COVID, race issues, politics, LBGTQ rights, the media, bad language, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I mused about this all morning. Why had it disturbed me so much? Clearly, these are challenging issues. Indeed, it's been a crazy year of crisis and chaos, and we're all sick and tired. So I can go along with that part of the message, but there was something under it all that just felt bad to me. Then finally it came to me. The post was a plea to return to the status quo, to deny the realities we're all facing. My first reaction was COVID, race issues, politics, and all the rest of that stuff don't care if you're sick and tired. They affect you no matter how you feel about it. These things are real. We have to cope with them one way or another. But then another answer popped out at me. The underlying messaging in the post was grief. And so, what does all this have to do with grief? At the risk of being academic, remember there are 5 phases of grief: denial, anger, depression, bargaining, and then finally, acceptance. But it all starts with a loss. And traditionally, we may think of the death of a loved one. But we all experience many losses in our life. And with each, we go through periods of grief. The intensity and duration may vary depending on the extent of the loss, but the process is pretty consistent. And in 2020, we've experienced a ton of loss: sick friends and loved ones, crazy numbers of deaths, violence in the streets, let alone the loss of our basic freedoms to gather, socialize, and travel without all these crazy new rules. The poster was angry, a very normal reaction to loss. There were also some elements of denial and bargaining in the post, but surely no acceptance. And as a science nerd, I'd reacted to the illogic of the post. I thought these things are real and my feelings won't change any of it. I know that people who deny and rail against a crisis are often the first to be hurt by it. And in the process, they may draw first responders and caregivers into harm's way. So this can be dangerous. But the post was also an honest expression of anger and depression about the crazy events of 2020. That's real too. And arguing with folks doesn't make the emotion any less real. So now I face a dilemma. How do I accept the legitimate grief, but not the path to even greater tragedy? Now, I don't claim to be an expert on any of this, but it seems to me the first step is to openly listen while folks vent their grief. I need to accept that the grief is real and hopefully find some common ground. We don't all react to the crises and chaos of 2020 in the same way. Still, we're all in this together. And only by working together can we solve the problems 2020 has exposed. So, what is the common ground? These things are real. COVID threatens all of us. Race issues affect us all. Political processes will guide our path forward. And angry venting is a normal human reaction to grief. Eventually, we have to accept the loss and start moving forward. Together, we are working toward a new normal. We all have a stake in this. And we have to help each other through our feelings of loss to make the new normal a better place than the old. Stay safe. Until next time.